Ever wonder how the Statue of Liberty actually got to New York? Most people think it was just a gift from France shipped over and boom, there it was. But the real story is so much more dramatic and, honestly, a little bit chaotic. It's a tale of near disaster, financial panic, and a last-minute rescue that almost didn't happen. Let's rewind. In 1883, the massive copper statue, a gift from the French people, was officially presented to the United States. The designer, Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, was thrilled. But there was a huge problem. France paid for the statue, but America was supposed to pay for the pedestal it would stand on. In America, America hadn't raised the money. The project completely stalled. Statue already built was disassembled into 350 giant pieces and packed into 214 crates. It sat in storage in Paris for a whole year, collecting dust. Can you imagine? The symbol of liberty was homeless. Back in New York, the pedestal committee was struggling. They held fundraisers, but the money just wasn't coming in. It looked like the statue might never be assembled. Some cities even tried to poach it. Boston, Philadelphia, and San Francisco all offered to pay for the pedestal if they could have the statue instead. This is where a newspaper publisher named Joseph Pulitzer steps in. Yes, that Pulitzer. Axe. He saw this as a national embarrassment. He launched one of the first ever major crowdfunding campaigns through his newspaper, the New York World. He promised to print the name of every single person who donated, no matter how small the amount. The response was incredible. Over 120,000 people from all walks of life sent in their donations. Many gave less than $1. School children pooled their pennies, and immigrants who had just arrived gave what little they had. It became a truly national effort, a project for the people, by the people. Finally, in just 5 months, Pulitzer raised the final $100,000 needed. The pedestal was completed, and on June 17, 1885, the French steamer Isser sailed into New York Harbor, carrying the crated statue. It took another year and a half to reassemble her, piece by piece, on Bedloes Island. So, when you look at the Statue of Liberty, remember it's not just a gift from France. It's a testament to the power of ordinary people coming together. Symbol paid for not by the wealthy, but by the dimes and quarters of everyday Americans who believed in the dream she represents. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden histories. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the epic, and honestly, pretty wild story of how one of the most iconic symbols in the world almost didn't make it. I'm talking about the Statue of Liberty. We all know her, standing tall and proud in New York Harbor, a beacon of hope and freedom. But the journey she took to get there was filled with drama, financial chaos, and some serious last-minute heroics. This isn't just a story about a statue. It's a tale of international friendship, stubborn determination, and the power of the people. Let's rewind to the 1860s. The idea for the statue was born in France. At a dinner party hosted by a man named Edouard de la Boulaye, who's a prominent legal scholar, a fierce abolitionist, and a huge admirer of the United States. He saw America's victory in the Civil War and the end of slavery as a triumph for liberty everywhere. He dreamed of a grand monument, a gift from the people of France to the people of America, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence in 1876. It would be a symbol of their shared ideals of liberty and their historic alliance, dating back to the American Revolution. Now who do you get to design such a monumental gift? La Boulaye turned to a talented and ambitious sculptor named Frederick Auguste Bartholdi. Bartholdi was captivated by the idea. He had a passion for large-scale monuments and had previously proposed building a giant lighthouse, shaped like a robed female figure for the Suez Canal in Egypt. That project fell through, but the idea stuck with him. For the American project, he envisioned a colossal woman, liberty enlightening the world, holding a torch high and striding forward, breaking free from the chains of tyranny. Bartholdi traveled to America in 1871 to scout for the perfect location. The moment his ship sailed into New York Harbor, he knew he'd found it. He saw a small island called Bedloes Island and instantly pictured his statue there, greeting every ship that arrived in the New World. It was the perfect gateway to America, so the plan was set. France would pay for and build the statue itself, and the United States would be responsible for building the pedestal it would stand on. Sounds simple enough, right? Wrong? This is where the trouble begins. Back in France, raising money was tough. The country was recovering from the Franco-Prussian War, and the government was unstable. So La Boulaye and Bartholdi launched a massive public fundraising campaign. They organized lotteries, gala events, and sold miniature models of the statue. It was a true grassroots effort. French citizens, from wealthy industrialists to schoolchildren, donated what they could. The famous Gounod Opera even composed a special cantata for a fundraising performance. Slowly but surely, the money started coming in. Meanwhile, Bartholdi and his team got to work. And this is where another legendary figure enters the story. Gustave Eiffel. Yes, that Eiffel. Before he built his famous tower, Eiffel was brought in to design the statue's internal support structure. This was a work of genius. The statue's outer layer is made of thin copper sheets, only about 3/32 of an inch thick. To support this massive copper skin and allow it to withstand the strong winds of the harbor, Eiffel designed a flexible iron skeleton. It acts like a spine, allowing the statue to sway slightly in the wind without breaking. It was a revolutionary piece of engineering. The construction was a spectacle. In a Parisian workshop, the statue was built piece by piece. The giant head, the arm holding the torch, these massive sections were displayed around Paris to drum up excitement and more donations. Imagine walking through Paris and seeing a 46-foot-tall arm holding a torch just sitting in a park. By 1884, the full statue was assembled in Paris, towering over the city's rooftops. It was a magnificent sight, a temporary French landmark before its journey to America. But over in the United States, things were not going so well. The American Committee for the Statue of Liberty was having a terrible time raising money for the pedestal. The target was about $100,000, which is over $2.5 million today. They appealed to the wealthy, they appealed to Congress, but enthusiasm was surprisingly low. Many Americans saw it as a New York project and weren't interested in footing the bill. The press was often critical, with some newspapers mocking the project. The fundraising efforts stalled completely. By 1885, the situation was dire. The statue was fully built, disassembled, and packed into 214 crates, ready to be shipped from France. But in New York, construction on the pedestal had stopped due to a lack of funds. The foundation was laid, but that was it. It was a national embarrassment. France had held up its end of the bargain, delivering this incredible gift, and America was about to let it sit in crates because they couldn't build a base for it. Other cities, like Boston and Philadelphia, even offered to pay for the pedestal if the statue was moved to their city instead. This is where our next hero steps in, a man who completely changed the game, Joseph Pulitzer. Yes, the Pulitzer of the Pulitzer Prize. He was a Hungarian immigrant who had become a powerful newspaper publisher. His paper, The New York World, was known for its sensationalism and its championing of the common person. Pulitzer saw the failure to fund the pedestal as an insult to the French and a failure of the wealthy elite. So, in March 1885, he launched one of the most brilliant fundraising campaigns in history. He used his newspaper to shame the rich for not contributing and to appeal directly to the working class and immigrants of America. He printed daily articles, editorials, and cartoons, relentlessly pushing for donations. His message was powerful. This statue wasn't a gift to the rich of New York. It was a gift to all Americans. It was a symbol of liberty for the very people who were now reading his newspaper. Pulitzer's masterstroke was promising to print the name of every single person who donated, no matter how small the amount. This was genius. Suddenly, everyone could be a part of the project. Donations flooded in, school children sent in their pennies. A group of office workers sent $1. A young girl sent her life savings of 60 cents. In just 5 months, Pulitzer's newspaper raised over $102,000 from more than 120,000 donors. The average donation was less than $1. It was a true crowdfunding campaign long before the internet even existed. People had saved the Statue of Liberty. With the money secured, work on the pedestal resumed at a frantic pace. It would become one of the heaviest pieces of masonry ever built at the time. Finally, on October 28, 1886, 10 years later than originally planned, the Statue of Liberty was officially dedicated. It was a huge celebration. A massive parade, known as a ticker tape parade, marched through Manhattan. President Grover Cleveland presided over the ceremony on the island. Bartheldy himself was there to see his 20-year dream finally realized. As he pulled the rope to unveil the statue's face, the harbor erupted with the sounds of steam whistles, cannons, and cheering crowds. From that day forward, Lady Liberty has stood as a silent witness to history. She greeted millions of immigrants as they arrived at nearby Ellis Island, often their first sight of their new home, a powerful promise of freedom and opportunity. She has become an enduring symbol, not just of American ideals, but of the friendship between two nations, and thanks to Joseph Pulitzer, a testament to what ordinary people can achieve when they come together. So, the next time you see a picture of the Statue of Liberty, remember the incredible, chaotic, and inspiring journey she took. Remember the French visionary who dreamed her up, the sculptor who built her, the engineer who gave her a spine, and the thousands of ordinary people on both sides of the Atlantic who refused to let that dream die. It's a story that's just as monumental as the statue itself. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let me know in the comments what other iconic landmarks you'd like to learn about. See you next time.